Good evening. Welcome. My name is Obindako. I want to share with you today make provision for losses. As an entrepreneur, make provision for losses as an entrepreneur. Business, like any building a company, building a business, developing ideas, like anything in this life, if it's not understood, if it's not studied, you will be, if you don't study them, if you don't study the stages, if you don't study the things that the stages, the processes, the turning points that you have to go through to get to your goal in building a business, in owning a company. If you don't go through the processes, you would along the line become frustrated. You become maybe you even give up, because anything that you have not studied, in anything that you have not gone through the process, anything that you have not taken your time to understand, when you embark on the journey, you may have a lot of assumptions, and once you have a lot of assumptions, even when you meet the usual process stages that people who build businesses endure, when you meet yours, you assume that you are wrong and you are not cut for it, or you don't have what it takes to build a business. And it may, at this stage, may not be wrong at all. It may just be a normal stage that building a business goes through. And if you have not studied it, business is like any normal human life. It's like, or any normal human institution. It's like marriage. If you marry and you don't know the stages of marriage, if you don't study the processes that marriages go through, you would assume that the difficulties that you meet are unique with yours, and you may end up giving up. It's like making friendship. Same. If you make friendship and you don't understand the processes that making friendship, successful friendship or relationships go through, you would just give up when you meet a stage, because each stage is unique. And so just as that, business is like that. There are so many things that could go wrong, and there will be losses. If anybody tells you that there will not be losses, that person is just selling a lie to you. And as usual, our part of the world, there's a lot of assumptions that we have. And so when people start to develop their businesses, when people start to develop their business ideas, they assume that they will never go through any losses. It's because we don't usually start off with knowing what we would have known, having been in it for 10 years or 5 years. And so when you're starting a business, you're starting just as a point that you don't understand a lot of things. So you don't know much, just as I don't know much. And when you're starting, let's say you endured that process for 10 years and you go to start the same. We are assuming that you had all that it takes, the expertise, the network, the understanding, the leadership, the technical understanding, the systemic understanding, that the economy, the finances, all those. Let's assume you had them. You had them, like the man who has built maybe 100 million Ghana cedi company, or 200 million Ghana cedi company, or a billion Ghana cedi company. Maybe you just starting with the same kind of understanding, the same kind of expertise, the same kind of exposure as that man. If you have that, you will not likely fail. The reason why that man is able to build his company is because he has gone through a lot. And so now he is a different kind of person, having endured the processes for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years, having gone through all these things that everybody goes through. Now he's at a stage where he can build a successful business. Now, when we start, most of us think that we are that man or we are that woman. Well, we have the right expertise, we have the right understanding, we know everything is accurate, and so we're just waiting for the results. And you put in 10 cities and you just do your calculation and know that 10 cities within a month will be 200 cities. Why? Because we assume that we are experts. It's like your child thinking that he can take the car key, and go and drive and move through town. He's assuming, because he's a child. And so when you start a business, you are starting the business as if you're a child. So you have a lot of wrong understanding. The processes are required to make sure, or to make you not have that wrong understanding. By the time that you have endured the business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, you will know that when you started, there was there were a lot of things that you did not know. And so make a provision for the losses. They will be there, they will come. If anybody tells you that you will not lose anything, and that when you are losing something, it means that there is some demon somewhere attacking you, that person does not know what it takes to build a business. That person does not know what it takes to go through the processes that are required to build a business. So my name is Kwabena. I want to, I'm sharing with you make provision for the losses. So we are encouraging people to start businesses, which is good. And most people who encourage people to start businesses now in our country, most of them are on salary. They are bank managers, they are insurance company people, they work with the telecommunication companies. And then when they organize entrepreneurship seminars, these are the people who come and they are giving talk shows and they are telling you how to follow your dream and how to build your businesses. Now, the thing is that these people are on salary. They have no clue what it takes to build a business. Don't believe it. Maybe what it takes to build a professional like corporate life, yes, they may have an idea. But what it takes to build an idea, to build a provision shop that can grow, to build maybe a cocoa business, whatever it is that you're building, a retail shop, a construction company, from the scratch. If you want that kind of data, relevant data, you don't need these kind of people who are already on salary somewhere, who have never tried any idea themselves, been in it fully, to teach you, to learn from you. And I think that is one of the things that if you live here, you should be able to separate your teachers, because there are a lot of information that people will give that don't work because they have not tried it themselves. So they read to you textbook knowledge, they read to you business school knowledge, they read to you the things that they have heard people say, and they have not done it. And the losses, nobody can teach you. You would have to go through it. You just have to be conversant with it, that the losses are just there. And so when you're starting a business, just like when you were born, you were 1 year, and you're 2 years, and they start to they start to crawl, they start to walk. Those are part of human life, So there are stages. Then the teeth will go, then they start to jump, they start to talk. Those are just processes. And so when you go through the processes as a child, those processes are not even losses. They are just purging process. They are just processes for you to become an adult, and you cannot just, just as you plant, let's say a tree cannot just, you can't plant a tree and one day the tree starts to give fruit. No, the tree will start to give fruit or bear fruit when the tree has become an adult tree. Reaches a stage where, so the same with us, the same with me. When you start a business, you endure a lot of processes before you start to get the fruit, you start to get the results. And so those who stand until they are able to see the results are those who are going to succeed. And so it is highly likely that your first business, your first product, your first project, your first services that you try to render, the first things that you do is likely that they will fail. It's just fact of life. Why they will fail is that for most things to work and for most things to succeed, the success is coming out of the experts. The experts are the ones who succeed consistently. And so if it's your first business, if it's your first product, if it's your first endeavor, it is so much highly likely possible that you will fail, and I will peg it around maybe 90% of the time, especially when you have never done anything at all, when you have never tried anything at all, if you have never built a business at all. Just be prepared that it can fail, and there will be losses, and it is part of the process. And so without you taking the first step, you will not fail. If you don't take any step, you will not fail. But if you don't take that step, you will not get to the success. And so when you are building the first business, when you're building the first product, when you're building the first thing that will enhance your entrepreneurship journey, be prepared. It's about 90% that you will fail, or you will keep trying before you see what it is all about. So most businesses will fail in their first 10 years. Those are the statistics that they say, and they say that between 4 to 5% will only survive after 10 years. So if 100 businesses started, after 10 years, maybe only 4 to 5%. Some even quote less for those businesses to succeed. Now, this kind of statistics, they are coming from well-structured economies. Economies that they have data, they have regulations, they have laws, they have finances. They are not charging 40%, 50% for use of their finances. There are a lot of things are clear. This is the kind of statistics that they have. After 10 years, they are not looking at more than 5% of their businesses which started being successful, being still in operation. Now that is the kind of economy. Now our kind of economy, almost everything is not there. So I would say that maybe just 1% will succeed. Just 1% will succeed after 10 years. So if you put 10 maybe 100 together, you're just looking about just one to be successful. Now, is that scary? No, it's not scary. It's just part of the process, because there are a lot of factors that come into play for business to work. Good financing, good economy, good energy, good data, good employees, leadership. There is a lot that you, the entrepreneur, would have to have, and there is a lot that your economy that you're operating must have. Now, if none of them exists in both cases, then you see that the failure rate will be very high. And so you are starting, you don't know anything, no network, you don't have any expertise, no leadership, you don't have plan, you don't even know what you're doing. And then you also happen to operate in an economy where the dollar can jump in the next 10 seconds. the energy, the light is not stable. The rate of borrowing is that dangerous. People, you cannot depend on people's word. They tell you that come for the project, the next minute they have switched it, they have given it to another person. The processes are not clean, are not clear. You can't predict a lot of things. Now, if these are the factors, then just be prepared that for you to succeed, you're just looking at just about 1% in maybe 10 years. Now, that should not worry you that much. That should just help you get equipped so that you know where to step and what to do to succeed. Because the success is certain if you don't give up. If I don't give up, the success, I know, is certain. And so your first business, is likely to fail, and it's better you try to fail quick so that you become wise. So be prepared for the losses. They should not shake you. Some of the losses could hit you big time, and that's business, and that's how entrepreneurs endure. So because of lack of entrepreneurship skills, lack of financial skill, leadership skills, management, wrong project sourcing, wrong environment in terms of the economy, these things can hit us badly. These things can hit us badly. But just be prepared that if you're going to develop any business idea, you are going to meet losses, you are going to meet challenges, you are going to meet very serious situations, because that is how it is done. That is how all people have gone through. And so when you start, don't think that you are so special. And that I think that is what gets people worried and pained, because they feel that they know something, they feel that they are wise, they feel that what happened to the other person that he lost his business cannot happen to them because they have MBA, they have gone to school, they have worked somewhere, they understand something. No sir, no madam, it's business. So anything at all can happen. The business, maybe you started a project business, a project company, consultants, whatever. The only reason that your business is going to succeed is because you keep going. So maybe your first project will lose. You get a lot of mess. Maybe your second project will hit. Maybe once a while you say, but it's like that, and cumulatively, maybe first 5 years you see that you're negative. A lot of things are bad around you. You can't even pay your children's school fees. You don't have any food to eat. You owe creditors, they're coming after you. The banks are looking for you. Your car is gone, your food is gone, you're confused, nobody understands what you're doing. Now, these are the things that businesses go through, entrepreneurs go through. Don't think that these are unique with you. So sometimes it's not just the business. I think that it's not just the business that you register that is failing. Sometimes the things that the business does, those are the things that are failing. So you failed in your first project, you failed in your second project, you got into a mess, some people screwed you. You took that loan on that project, it didn't work. You picked that employee, that engineer, and he screwed you. You picked that manager and he ran away with the money. These are all things. And then just about the time that you were trying to make profit, the economy sank, the whole thing destroyed. The cement, they multiplied by 3, the iron rods, and there was no provision for any price change on that project. These are things that you're going to go through. Why? You made those errors because you did not understand. You did not understand. You didn't have the expertise. Somebody else who has done it for 20, 30 times will know which project to take and which project not to take. So the losses will happen because it is your first. Maybe it's your second. It's your third. And you start to correct the processes. You keep on correcting the processes. And once you're correcting the processes, you're building yourself to becoming that person who can build a successful business. So the losses are not unique. The losses are just part of building a business. So wrong business culture, wrong team, bad economy, you're going to grow to make your first business, work. You're going to grow. If you are that person who was able to succeed in your first business, it meant that you had a lot of things that were right, for you. And it's very rare for you to meet people who have never done anything anywhere, who have never tried anything anywhere, just sitting somewhere, no expertise, nothing, no financial knowledge, no people skill, nothing, for them to build a successful business right from day one. No, it doesn't happen that readily. So because you're going to become somebody, and when you become that person, when you become that skilled person, then you can build that successful business. So if you try to build anything, any company that you try to build, whether you are trying to build a construction company, whether you are trying to build a retail business, whether you are trying to build a farming company, whatever business that you are trying to build, and you met so many difficulties, and you lost a lot of money. Maybe you are trying to learn how to sell something. Maybe you are learning how to sell mobile, MTN mobile credit kind of business, or you tried a poultry farm, you try to sell computers, whatever, mobile phone, you are trying to manufacture something, whatever it is. If the first one, don't be so much consumed and pain of the losses, because they are not unique with you. We all had to go through that, and we're still going through them anyway. So that the information that you have when you want to start something is that information that will make you keep going, or that information will make you stop. Because if you have a lot of wrong assumption on what it takes to build business, you will give up, because you will think that it is that easy for businesses to be built quickly, and that when you meet your challenges, you will feel like and the thing is that when you meet the challenges, everybody else will advise you, because very few people understand what it takes for somebody to go through the processes to build a business. Very few people. Most people have no clue what it is. Most people think that building a business is just like showing up to work, and at the end of the month they pay you salary. Most people, that's what they think. And so when the monthly payment, when the monthly money is not coming from the business, a lot of people think that you are wasting your time. They don't know that is, you are just becoming something. Why? Because the forces that come on you when you want to build a business are so many. You are one person who you are handling so many things. So many things. You're handling the process, the product, you're handling the project, you're handling the finances, you're handling the people, you're handling the taxes, you're handling everything. And yet when you started, you didn't know much. And so when you fail at any one of them, and any of the angles that you're dealing with can go wrong, and any of them which goes wrong can affect your business and can turn into a lot of pain, a lot of losses at any little time. And so that's why sometimes the advice that you take from people who have built businesses, look at the kind of businesses that they built, look at the finances that they went for, look at the economy that they built the business in, look at the expertise, look at the level of exposure that they had before they started the business, before you try to take advice from some of these guys. Because some people work somewhere for 20 years, they had money, they came to start a business after 40 years. They have management skill, they have a lot of network, they are coming with money. Now, you've just finished college, you are 20 years, you want to start business, no mother, no father, no money anywhere, no network. Your scenario is so much different, Or somebody else was maybe he was a consultant, he was handling an NGO somewhere, he was a preacher somewhere, he had some leverage, he made name, and then he started to, extract some of the money to start a business. It's a whole different scenario. And majority of the people will start business without having anything. Nothing. They will not have anything. And so when you have nothing and no skill, you just have vigor. You just want to push and try your idea and test your idea. If that is the kind of situation that you have, don't be overwhelmed by the pain, by the losses, by the disagreement, by the difficulties, by the challenges that you meet, because they are part of the processes. And so they say that very few businesses succeed, and those are true. And if you had statistics in our country, you will know that the market woman that you see who has been selling for 20 years, 10 years, go ask her. She probably started selling orange and she lost the money. She went to sell Kobe, she lost it. She went to another place to sell cocoa, she lost it. And then she went to sell maybe cassava. They may not have a regimented business, but they keep, they are trying a lot of things, and then they hit a product that will make them succeed. So it's the same. So sometimes it's not just your business that is collapsing or that is failing, but sometimes a lot of the times is what the business is doing. So you started selling, maybe you open a pharmaceutical shop, a pharmacy, and it didn't work. And then you went to open water selling company, it didn't work. And then maybe you started selling spare parts, it didn't work. And maybe you started selling cement, and you started to make sense. You started to understand the numbers. You started to know what you were doing. Why? It's not because sometimes it's not just because the third, fourth business was just a business that could work. It's just because you were a more mature person to start that business. So some of the negotiations, some of the things that you were doing were better informed. Were better informed. That's why you succeeded. And so the only guarantee for us succeeding as entrepreneur is to keep going. To keep going, to pass the first project that fails, the first product that fails, the first business that fails. To keep going because you're becoming better all the time. You cannot be the one who quits just because the first business did not work. You cannot be the one who quits just because the second one did not work, the third one did not work, the 10th one. I will believe that you want to try to keep going until you succeed. And if it has to take you 10 times to build, go ahead, because after all they say that just about 3, 4, 5% will succeed in the 10th year. We'll still be doing business in the 10th year. So what's the point? If they are failing, then you might as well keep trying and see maybe if you can try about 10 of them. And you never know. By the time you reach the 10th, you may have had the leverage and the understanding and the expertise to build a business that can succeed or that is successful. And so when the second one fails, I talked about it, keep going. The third one, keep going. And you are becoming that person that will have the skill to build a successful business at least. So stay with the process and don't wait. Don't wait all this while just for one project which failed. If that one project failed, if that one business failed, if they lost your money, if you lost your money because of that one project, if you lost your project, if you lost everything because of just one project, go and try another one. Sometimes you may not just have anything, but you still just have to go out, because it's just the process. And watch out for your belief system. When you start trying something, watch out for the belief system. The belief system that tells you that something is wrong with you, there's a demon somewhere, there's a family curse somewhere, there's somebody who has taken you somewhere. Those kind of naive thinking don't help anybody to build anything. The statistics show that if you don't have any skills and you start a business, you are going to go through a lot to become that person who will own a successful business. So don't buy that lie, and don't think that all the difficulties that you met all the wrong loans, all the wrong. Don't compare yourself with anybody. You just stay with the process. Just stay with the process and keep going. It is part of the journey. And I think that any business person, any entrepreneur should just resolve that and stop chasing one malam after the other, trying to look into why your first business failed, and why your second business failed, and why your third business. That's why people get to lie to you and cheat you, because the difficulties are just real. You are going to meet the difficulties. Just part of it. If you don't want trouble, then don't start a business at all. But if you start a business, you're going to meet difficulties. And don't let people, ignorant men, selfish men, charlatans, take advantage of you because you meet difficulties, because you meet challenges in your business. It's just part of the process. Why would you want to tell the pregnant woman that because she's stretching, the hormonal changes, the vomiting, because of those things, it means that the woman is scarce or demonic? It's just part of pregnancy, and those things don't kill the dream, don't kill the baby. They don't kill the baby. If something will kill the dream, you will know. If it's a disease that is attacking the woman, if there is a difficulty, if there is a situation that is threatening the life of the baby or the mother, they will know. But usually when you go and it's just the normal process, they will tell you that it's just a normal process. And so if it's a first business, don't worry so much about it. Study the process. People don't like to study what it takes to build anything. People just want to be told one thing, go and do this and you become successful. People don't like building the muscles. I don't have a lot of, I'm not, those kind of people. Why? Because I've not paid that price to have those kind of muscles. I have not gone through that. If I were to go through the gym every day, maybe when you will see me with a lot of muscle. So if I'm a boxer and I'm able to fight well, it's because I'm training in the gym, and training is not comfortable. It's painful, So if I'm a master programmer, it's because I've paid the price to program, so I know it. And even when you see the programmers, when they wrote their first program, they know the errors that come, and they correct it. They correct it before they get to a stage where they know that this program is well. So don't let anybody deceive you, because the losses, the pain, the challenges, the problems are part of you building the business, building the dream, harnessing the strength of your ideas. They are part of it. Never let anybody talk you out of your dream because you're meeting challenges. The challenges will come from the finances. The challenges will come from the fact that maybe sometimes the idea that you started was not rightly started well. It was not started well. Sometimes the difficulties will come from the lack of the right people to work with. Sometimes just the country's economy is bad. It could be anything. Sometimes it could even be the wrong business tool that you use. Maybe you should have used a company and used an enterprise. And sometimes maybe you should have used an enterprise and use a company. There's so many things. People will come and lie and cheat to, all kind of complications. But these are all part of building a business. So I don't know why when we meet problems, then we want to look at it as if there is a force somewhere which is responsible for the difficulties. It is wrong philosophy. It is wrong training. And that's why very few people understand the entrepreneurship journey and the entrepreneurship processes, because they think that once somebody just tells you go and start a business, everything else will be all right. No, everything else is not going to be all right. Even if, no matter what idea that they told you, everything else is not going to be. You are going to go through the process. You are going to go through the process to become a strong person, a wiser, more skilled person who can carry a lot. And so be prepared for what you call the losses. Be prepared for them. You will lose. Sometimes you lose the money, and it will be so much painful. You lose everything that you put in, and if you don't take care, sometimes you get up at 2 a.m. You are thinking, you're overthinking, you're planning, and you're cursing yourself. Why did I go through this? You may even lose your peace if you don't take care, and it could be that much uncomfortable, painful, and you may not be able to even explain it to anybody at all, because very few people understand it. Maybe all your friends are just working in some place, they are taking salary, they have no clue what you're going through in building a business. They have no idea. They just talk naively, but they have no idea what you're going through. Some of the mistakes are culminating into you owing everybody, and then all kind of complications can come out of building a business. And it's not unique with us. It's not unique with us. Some people think that it's just unique. It's not unique. It's just part of the game. And so once you resolve that, you'll be able to build a good business. And if you decide not to give up, you build. I am of a firm belief that everybody can succeed in business if you stay long enough. Everybody. That anybody who starts a business will succeed if they stay enough. If they have staying power, if they are adaptable enough, if they go for knowledge enough, if they try enough, if they keep pushing enough, if they can stretch themselves enough, if they can go for the skill that they don't have enough. I believe that everybody can be successful in building a company. Every one of us can be, because you just keep going. When others are falling off, you keep going, you keep upgrading yourself, and you keep changing your knowledge. You don't interpret things to your disadvantage. Yes, you lost everything. They lied to you. They took the money. You had all the debt to pay. Never worry. Keep going. Keep going. Just keep going. If that business didn't work, another one will work. Who told you that the so-called big businesses don't meet all these turbulences? Every one and then they meet the difficulties. Every now and then they meet the challenges. Every now and then they meet the trouble. And so if you have naive way of looking at what it takes to build anything, then you will just cry and weep and curse yourself and let people take advantage of you. Then they will tell you that come, let's pray here, come, let's give you prophecy, come, let you do that. And all those are not important. You just have to become a better skilled person to build a business. And that's why the people who understand the processes of building a business, they don't worry that much, because they know that the business can fail. The rate of them succeeding, as a matter of fact, that's why when you go to look for funds, they look for you. They look at the kind of person you are. What have you endured? What have you tried? How clearly do you think? Do you understand what you're doing? They look for those. And those are the assets that they're looking for. It's not even just the fact that the business is profitable or the business brings in cash. No, they want to know who is beyond the business. Behind it, what do you understand? What have you invested in yourself? That is the leverage. That is the one that overcomes all the challenges. And so the difficulties that you are going through, those difficulties are building those things that people, when you meet in the future, will need. We need. But when you have a naive understanding of how businesses are built and the processes that they have to go through, then you think that they are only special with you. They are not special. They are not special. They are just part of the processes. So make provisions for that. Give yourself a lot of allowances. And don't believe so much in the fact that you think that you are so much intelligent. You may be intelligent, but the losses and the processes, they will stretch you. And never worry about all the difficulties that you meet. Keep going. Keep going. No matter who threatens you, no matter who runs away from you, no matter what challenges that you meet, it is business. Never give up. It is just like that. And don't pray the troubles away. You cannot solve those troubles with business problems that are going to bring the successes that are going to stretch your muscle, that are going to develop in you the psyche, the thinking, the mindset that the successful business owners, the successful entrepreneurs have. That thinking that is going to push that in you is going to come through the stretch. Those things are going to come through the stretch. So don't pray them away. They don't need prayer. They just need. Do you need gymming? You're an athlete and you are going to pray that you will not exercise. It's not true. So you don't need prayer to fight that. You just need to keep training and keep going and keep fighting. And so when you have no money, go and talk to one person. If they don't respond, go and talk to another person. When you have no project, go and talk to another person. If they don't respond, talk to another person. If they don't respond, talk to another person. Keep talking. And in your talking, you're becoming better. In your talking, you're learning. And you're building a network. And out of the network, you build a successful business. Out of the exposure, out of the character that you have developed. And so the successful business is just going to come out of the stretch. What the stretch has made you acquire. That is what is going to build the business for the next stage. And so it's more of the thinking. So if you have a weak philosophy of business, if you have a weak philosophy of entrepreneurship, then you are the one going around crying and saying, I'm tired, I can't give up, what did I put myself in this, it's so difficult. Yes, say it today, tomorrow get up, go to work, go fighting. Because what we need is that 90% of our youth should start in businesses. 90% of our youth should be starting businesses if you want to develop our country. That's a fact. Because the 95%, 95% of them who are talking, no, the 5%, or now the statistics are that 90% of the people are looking for jobs, and only just about 1%, 2%, 3% are trying to start businesses. It should be the other way around. You know, it should be the 90% that are looking at building product, businesses, systems, structures. You know, because that is what the economy needs. 90% looking for jobs. Who are going to create those jobs? Who? You tell me. Who are those from heaven to come and create those jobs? So it's rather the switch. So if you're producing 1,000 students, 90% should be looking at starting businesses, and they should know these stages that you go through to build a business. You know, and they should not be running to their mother. They should not be crying when they meet difficulties, and when their partner that they so trusted turn away on them and began to fight them. You should not run away. When they stole your money, you should not run away. When you took that loan and it became a problem, don't run away. Stay and pay it back. It doesn't matter the insult, it doesn't matter all the problems, it doesn't matter. Stay with it, because it's part of the story, it's part of the journey. Stay with it. When you imported that product and you had everything broken, don't quit. It's a lesson. Bitter one, tough one, painful one, yes, but it's part of building a business. When you started that factory and the doomsday collapsed it, cry? Yes, maybe. But tomorrow start another one. Maybe you started a farm and it rained and flooded everything. You started to buy maize to sell in town, and you had an accident and you lost all your capital. Or you were going to buy your first product, or you were going to buy other things, and somebody duped you and ran away with the money. It's part of the business. And so all kind of things can happen. And all of them can destroy your vision if you allow them. But I know that at least based on what I know, if you keep going, if you keep fighting, if you keep pushing, you succeed. Nothing is between you and your dream except you not going. So my name is Kwabena. What I'm talking about is that make provision for the losses as an entrepreneur. They are part of the process development that you have to go through. They are part of the system development. They are part of the things that you are going to develop, the character strength that you need, the perspective that you need, the mindset that you need, the skill development that you need, the strength that you need, the maturity that you need will come out of the stretches in you doing your business. So, it is likely that I'm going through my points again and then I'll wrap up. It is likely that your first business will fail. And it should not be strange. You should not be going for all night because your first business, your first product, your first services fail. If you do anything, they fail. So just like your first girlfriend failed. It's not anything. So if you are not equipped, it will fail. And most of them, when we are starting at the first, we are not equipped. That's why they fail. We don't understand a lot of things. We don't understand the economy. We don't understand a lot of things. So most businesses will fail in the first 10 years. And they say that just about 4% or 5% will survive in the next 10 years. And that statistics is coming from the well-structured economy, when they can predict a lot of things. Our economy is open. It's porous. We have our advantages and we have a lot of disadvantages as well. So you peg it around 1%. That if you started 100 businesses, maybe one will succeed maybe after 10 years. In that case, do more. Try more. Don't stay with one business. Don't stay with one project. Don't stay with one product. Try more. Because out of that, if one is not working, some other one will work. And sometimes it's not what you started with. Sometimes what you started with was just an introduction to your entrepreneurship journey. So your first business, prepare for it. If it goes bad, don't worry. Start. Clean your face, wipe off the blood, and get to do another one. And don't listen to the people who say stop. Never listen to them. So because of lack of entrepreneurship skill, lack of financial skill, lack of leadership and management skill, lack of project management skill, product development skill, lack of things, how to manage the people, how to understand economy, we can fail. Because for you to succeed, you should have become a person well skilled for you to succeed. So wrong business culture, wrong business team, bad economy can make us fail. And so you are going to grow your first business when you become an expert. When you have not become an expert, when you have not become that much skilled, then don't worry that your first business failed. It's part of the game. So don't worry at all. Just keep going. If you're a young woman, you have started a business, don't listen to the people who are saying no, it won't work. Don't worry about that. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. If you're a young man, keep pushing. Don't cry. If your team breaks, go and form another team. If they cheat you, go and form another one. Keep going. Be resilient. Be tough. That is what it's going to take for you to build your business. So that is your only guarantee when you keep going. That's your only guarantee that you'll succeed. When you're adaptable, when you keep developing your skill, the project will fail, the business will fail, the other one will fail, but you keep going. Because the thing is that you will not fail. There's a difference between you and your business, you and the product, you and the services. You keep going. Because out of you, you're generating the ideas and you're becoming better. And once you are becoming better, nothing can stop you. So when the second one fails too, don't worry. Go on. We have had a lot of businesses, we have had a lot of projects that didn't work. Some of them we went with money, we came back with nothing. And sometimes we came back with debt. And some of them are not small figures. And for about 4 years, we sustained stress, pain out of the losses. And we kept going. Keep pushing. And when just about the time that we were trying to get our head up, the economy sank as well. But we kept going, keep going. And then it gets to a point you start to understand what you're doing. And then just one project will come and wipe off all the pain. Just one project. And when people meet you, a good thing about it is that when people meet you and they have seen what you have done, they see your profile, they don't ask whether you're successful or you're not successful, whether your project brought losses or not. They just see, you did this project, you did this. Now, wow, then you can do this. Let's go. So keep going. It's a wonderful experience. Keep going. Keep going. So if you quit, then, but there's no need. If you want to succeed, don't quit. If you have to try 10 projects for you to understand what you're doing, if you have to try 10 products, you have to try 10 companies, 10 businesses for you to succeed, try them. There's no law that prohibits any of us from keeping us from trying. So we can try as much as we want and keep going and form a gang of team who understand what it takes to build a business, because most people don't understand what it takes to build a business. Most people have just hasty, impatient idea what it takes to build a business and what it takes to be an entrepreneur. They are very impatient, that's why. And most people are very much impatient. They don't know. The fact is that a lot of people, they don't know. Some of them have even built businesses. But the thing is, if you build a business from wrong loop values, you don't understand the process. Some people, just the industry that they started in, you meet somebody, he has a minister friend, they give him big project, he looks up the figures, and out of that he starts to build other businesses. He does not understand the entrepreneurship processes. And a lot of them are like that. They're talking, but look at how they started. You didn't understand it. So if you're going to start on a clean state, on a clean level, and try to do the right things, you are going to go through the processes. So just don't just listen to people. Don't just listen to people whose father built some business somewhere and now they are talking about entrepreneurship. They're just working for their father, which is nothing wrong, but at least they don't know what it takes to pick an idea from the ground and build it, especially when you have nobody. So if you are in that, it depends on the category that you are in. If you are in that category, don't waste your time listening to all these guys who have not gone through the process. They just give you ideas, you can apply them. They give you head knowledge, but you can apply. So keep going and stay with the process. That's the only guarantee that you'll succeed. And never give up. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much. I'm thankful. Thank you.